Yeah, a potent disease likely fueled by climate change is ravaging our coral reefs. That has led the University of Miami and other organizations to mount a rescue mission to try and save them before they get infected. And those efforts are paying off in just the way scientists had wished for.
I think it's great news, very excited. We were hoping we would see some reproduction, and we did.
Dr. Andrew Baker and the coral researchers at the University of Miami Rosenstiel School of Marine Science are proud parents. The coral colonies they rescued from the threat of stony coral tissue loss disease have spawned.
So they released eggs and sperm into the water column. We collected them and were able to fertilize those eggs and sperm and raise them as coral larvae that we can then settle out and hopefully restore back to the reefs.
And restoration is the ambitious plan. These 400 corals were harvested from the dry tortugas, and the hope was to get them to reproduce so when the disease outbreak ends, they can safely be returned to the ocean to replenish the affected reefs.
If you've got corals breeding in your tanks, that's a pretty good indicator that they're doing well. Obviously, because the goal is to try to reproduce these corals and breed them, the fact that they've already started doing that gives us a head start.
These corals were spawned last month in these tanks during the full moon in what literally became a red light district.
We were using red lights so that we don't interrupt the natural sort of light exposure of the corals and put them off their game, so to speak. And then we would collect them with a syringe and basically maintain them in separate vials that we could then mix according to who we wanted to interbreed with who.
The resulting coral larvae are now carefully grown until they're mature enough to be replanted. And the success of this project has promise for the future.
This is so successful that we're really encouraged by this, and we're going to be expanding this facility to essentially create a coral farm here on Virginia Key that will allow us to explore some more of these questions and actually grow the collection of corals and do more research and more restoration. We've been waiting for many years to be able to do this, and it seems that the time is right. It's right especially because it's now that the corals need this help more than ever before.
And this is the first time have spawned corals in captivity, and is hoping for another round of spawning tonight. Why does it matter? Here's one big reason. The coral reefs in southeast Florida have an estimated value of $8.5 billion to our economy and are responsible for 70,000 jobs.